Discipline and consistency separate the good from the great.
Welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show, where we'll be discussing leadership, business, human potential, inspiring you to live rich from the inside out. Unlock your creativity, stretch out of your comfort zone, break through your barriers, take inspired action, and achieve epic results. Now here's your host, 3-time best-selling author, speaker, and certified executive coach, Deborah Kozowski.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Millionaire Woman Show. Well, we usually bring guests from around the world inspiring you to live rich from the inside out, but today is a different episode. Today you get a solo cast with me, Deborah Kozowski, 3-time best-selling author, speaker, executive coach, and the host, as you know, of the Millionaire Woman Show. It is my pleasure to spend this time with you, and today we're going to talk about getting unstuck. Do you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over every day, like Groundhog Day? Or do you feel like you're taking actions, but you only feel like you're spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere? Today we are going to talk about getting stuck. And what does it mean to get stuck? Well, getting stuck means that you think that what you want to achieve is unattainable. It's impossible. You're problem focused and you're doing the same things over and over, and life seems to be very boring. You tend to be peppered with messages around you that you're not enough, you're not doing enough, and it drowns out your own voice, that you lose sight of your voice. And getting stuck truly means that you're not in alignment with your true self. You've created barriers or limited options of what you feel you're capable of. And the only one to get you stuck is you. The only one to get you unstuck is you. So today's video is going to focus on helping you get unstuck. So how can getting stuck be a good thing? And people will be like, what? That's true. Getting stuck can be a good thing. And the good thing about it is that it is temporary. When you get stuck, it's a great place to reflect and do some self-evaluation. Because one of the things that you need to do when you're stuck is really paying attention to those limiting beliefs that crop up, the self-talk that you tell yourself, and really paying attention to what those messages are that you continually tell yourself. You have it stuck on replay of all the events from your past. You need to start listening to your inner dialogue. And when you're stuck and you start paying attention to what thoughts are true and what thoughts are fabricated, then what you can do is really start paying attention. What do I need to get out of this rut? What do I need? So you're looking for resources, you're looking to connect to people, you're looking for ways. So you won't stay stuck forever because it is a temporary thing. And what you're doing is you're paying attention again to that dialogue. You want to increase your awareness about what you've been telling yourself. What do you believe is possible? And the stories about why you can't achieve something. Where is that coming from? Who said it to you? And then primarily, it's yourself reinforcing different stories from the past. And one of the things you need to do is really pay attention to those stories from the past because they're no longer serving you. And here's the big deal, is that you are making decisions based on past experience, not where you are right now, not that you've had more education, more experience, more exposure to different things. So you are making false decisions based on what had happened in the past and what you recall from that past. You might not even still have the full picture, and there may be even a different perspective. And often the stories that you replay in your mind are stories of how you wished you had a different outcome, a different result, or possibly wish you had done something different. And you may be guilting yourself or shaming yourself for past mistakes. But remember, everything in life is there for you to learn something. And it's only when we fail to learn that we truly fail. So we want to take those lessons to really reinforce what we want to do moving forward versus dwelling on where we're at. When we look at some of those events that have happened, you really got to think about the event and the feeling and the emotion you attach to it, and start to shift your perspective. Is your perspective the only one? And when you think about the event and how you were feeling and how you wish things had gone, then I want you to think about, what is a different perspective I could have had? Is what my viewpoint was, is it 100% true? It is only when we start questioning our viewpoints that we can see a different perspective and remove emotions from the situation, because emotions can cloud the facts. And when we start adding in a different perspective, we may see the fault and the falsehood in our perception. So there can be many different perceptions. For instance, if someone was supposed to pick something up for you and they didn't, you might think that they don't care about you and they forgot to do something. And then in the end, it was that they were too busy, it fell off their list, they ran out of time, all of these different reasons. And here you are taking it personally, and it wasn't meant to intentionally hurt you in any way. So when you can start seeing that different perspective, you can start shifting and removing that emotion and really being able to make decisions moving forward without being attached to emotion and being emotionally charged, and letting your imagination run wild for what it doesn't. Use that imagination to envision your future, to envision where you want to be versus what happened in the past or what you wish would have happened and didn't. And because of that, you get hung up in a cycle of replaying a story, telling yourself that the people around you are not, doing what you want to, and you get frustrated. And then what happens to how you feel about things and the actions you take? Everything goes on halt. So I want you to stop halting and really start moving into a place of action. And I want you to ask yourself, how can being stuck be a good thing? And also, when you think about your perspective and the story that you tell yourself, can you ask yourself, is the opposite true? So if you were frustrated, I want you to say to yourself, this is what I believed, and can the opposite be true? And when you start seeing that there's possibility, that there's truth in another perspective, you will start seeing that there's more opportunities. And this is really great in the workplace or in a business, to see the opportunities that can come out of discussions with employees or staff to really gain a different perspective of approaches that you can take to skyrocket your business or grow your organization. This is where I really challenge people. Based on my book, Let's Be Curious, is I want you to get curious and start asking the right questions. And as we ask the right questions, better questions, we're going to get better answers to create what we want around us. So I want you to take time to really think about the questions that you want to ask. And as you develop questions, you can make the plan. But when we get curious, we can find answers in our questions. Don't get caught up in the how. That's often where people stay. So don't worry about the how. Get clear on being curious, create the new story of the reality that you want, and focus in on a plan that you want to create. Make that decision and start moving into action. As long as you're moving into action, that path is going to unfold for you. See, those stories that you tell yourself, they're a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you have a viewpoint of the capability of who you are and who you're not, and what you're capable and what you're not capable of, you have limited yourself. You've put yourself in a fixed position. So this is why those stories, it's kind of a place where you need to stop and you need to ask yourself, how is this belief serving me? And if it's not, it's time to throw it out the window. We want to move out of limiting our experiences, not fixing our beliefs into only being this way. Otherwise, you're limiting yourself, you're limiting your options, and you're not going to be able to get unstuck. And there's several ways that you can get unstuck, but it all starts with changing your belief about what you think you're capable of and what is possible for you. So how do you know that you're stuck in a rut? Well, you have no anticipation. You have nothing to look forward to, get excited about, or planning. Number 2 is that you see no progress. You're taking action, but you're spinning your wheels. And nothing seems to be the result that you want. There's no newness. You know that there's something that you need to be doing, yet you talk yourself out of it, again, with those stories and the capabilities of what's possible for you. And the 5th thing is that there's this lack of fulfillment. You feel like there's no meaning in the work that you do. So you get frustrated and don't know what to do because you get paralyzed with the fact that, okay, this is it. There's no fulfillment, there's no meaning, there's no anticipation, and there's no motivation to move out of the rut. But I want to make sure that before you finish watching this video, that you have several tasks and strategies and tips of how to do exactly that. Get out of your rut, get unstuck so that you can accomplish what you're meant to do in this lifetime. You have no motivation. It's boring. You got yourself stuck in a rut just going over and over and over. There is no desire to change, even though you know if you made the change, it would make you happier. So that comfort zone really keeps you stuck. And what's really keeping you stuck is your fear. False evidence appearing real. So you are seeing things that you think are going to disrupt everything, and you're looking for the what if, worst case scenarios. So I want you to really start thinking about what those fears are, because the only way to move through fear is through action. So the best things to do when you want to get out of a rut is start with connection and conversation. Go out and meet some new people. Start a conversation. Really get to know someone. Take a genuine interest in someone. Otherwise, I suggest that you catch up with people that you may have lost touch with and see how everyone's doing. No agenda, just intention of connection and conversation. Focus on doing things you enjoy. When's the last time you did something that you really enjoyed? It may have been years. I remember years ago, just out of high school, it was a few years out of high school, and I went skating in West Edmonton Mall. And I hadn't been skating in years. And when I put on the skates and I went across the rink, just the breeze on my face, I was like, wow, I remember how wonderful it felt like to skate. For some of you, it might be baking, it might going for a walk in nature, it might be skiing, it might be going for a run, it might be painting. It could be so many things. Connect back to things that you really enjoyed. And don't forget to change things up. Having that level of spontaneity and really doing something new that you haven't done before can really get you excited and nervous and get you out of that stuckness, because the stuckness is sameness. So when you throw in a little bit of spontaneity, do something new, drive a different route, you change things up. So your brain has to think differently. And you can move forward and have some excitement and anticipation with that. Above all, you need to start changing the story that you tell yourself, the story that limits you from moving forward. I want you to imagine, what if you surpassed what your story was? What if you had the success that you wanted? Isn't it time that you prepare to win and start believing your success is around the corner and it's better than you even expected? Thank you for joining me. I'm Deborah Kozowski. Please go over to my website at www.deborahkozowski.com, where you can get your 3-part mini course called Making Habits Stick, so you can build focus and consistency into your goals and make them a reality, knock them out of the park, and really enjoy that life you were meant to live. I'd also love for you to hit the bell so you can get notifications, subscribe to my channel, because there is brand new videos dropping every week where you can take nuggets and strategy, apply to your life, your business, and your leadership so that you can do what you were meant to do. Have a great day.